Welcome to today's video, you guys. About a week ago, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I did You Choose My Makeup. Foundation one was the Dior Air Nude. And somebody commented to me that this is their favorite foundation, but it cannot be found anywhere in Canada and the EU, and it's being discontinued and replaced by the Dior Forever Natural Nude, this one here. So I did find it on the Dior site this summer, but after I received that comment, I checked the Dior site and no, wasn't there. I just opened this box, you guys, and I think we're in trouble. I got the color 2N, which I was told, I read, that that is 20, and I have 20 in this. And these don't look like the same color to me. I was going to do, and I am still going to do, a half and half. And we're going to compare these two formulas to see how they hold up. But I can tell you right away, color-wise, we have a problem. So let's do the nude first. Now, please keep in mind, I love doing half and half, and I hate doing half and half, because outside this door, which is open, the sun is bouncing off the ground and reflecting into here, this room. And I don't have that over here. So I have lights over here to balance everything out, but it's not 100% balance. It's impossible for me to match the sun. I have an LED light in the corner, and I have an umbrella right here that I have closed. The light is on, but it's closed, but it's not 100% even. It's looking pretty good, actually, on my computer, so fingers crossed. Let's go in with the Dior Air Nude, now deceased. It is a volatile oil foundation, meaning as you rub this in, the oils evaporate, and all that's left is the pigment. And this color, for me, works better in the summer. That's when I wear it. And I also like the fact that it feels like nothing on the skin. And I am a person who gets hot so easily, and I sweat. So I want to wear a very light sunscreen, and this is the ideal foundation because it just does not feel like anything after it dries down. So my neighbor's daughter got a dog. She got a puppy, and she's never had a dog in her life. She didn't read any books about it, and she's having a really hard time with it. And her mom goes to her place a couple times a week to watch the dog because she can't work at the same time, and the dog's here. So there's some noise. There's no construction, but there's noise over here. So here it is. You can see, I hope, this is a pretty good color for me, even right now. And it looks beautiful on the skin. It does not look like makeup. I'm going to do a 2-day wear test, so I'm going to do this again tomorrow, just this on my face. But let's give it a shake. This is 2N. And it's not runny. It's not like, it's more creamy. In fact, there's peaks right here when I dipped in, so that's interesting. And it is not the same color, although it is the same fragrance as the other one, and yeah, a little goes a long way though. And I think what I'll do is, because I wanted to sit down and shoot this right away while I still had decent light. I didn't take notes to read you about this foundation and what the claims are. So I'll do that on day 2. Well, this is interesting. It's a little bit lighter, but it seems to be warming up as it sits in the skin. So let me just look at the blend. It feels very different than the serum foundation. It doesn't look, once it's on the skin, even though this looks like, oh my God, so different, once it's on the skin, it's warming up a little bit. It is a little light, but it's not terribly light. In fact, I think I could wear this in the summer, just bronze it up a little bit. So let's give this a couple of minutes so they have equal dry time, and we'll do a little touch test and see what's going on. Meanwhile, I also got a new lip. So let me take off Remnants. So this apparently is also new. It is a liquid matte lip, and you know how it is when you're online. You just can't tell what the colors are going to look like. This swatches for lips are horrible. But it's some mid-tone pink, which several years ago I went through this stage where I was looking for the perfect mid-tone pink, and I never found it, and I kind of got over it, but now I have a lot. But I checked to some of my stuff. I don't have anything quite this shade. And I think it's a springy little shade. There's a thickness to this. So this is not like the NARS, which is very, very thin. The Huda, very, very thin. There's another brand that does that very thin one. This is more thick, but it's not thick like the Kat Von D or the Anastasia. It's a pretty color though, right? Really spring. Let's see what these feel like. So this feels completely dried down. I feel moisture on my face, but it's from my sunscreen. And this doesn't feel bad either, which is interesting because I do have the new Dior powder. What do you think, you guys? Should I do it today? I wish you could talk to me while I'm doing the videos. I do feel very, very shiny, so I am going to use this in my shinier areas. I did use this yesterday when I was wearing the Trinity London. I powdered that with my By Terry Hyaluronic, but later on I got this and I said, oh, I have to try it. And I put this on afterwards, a couple of hours later, and it's really beautiful. I also looked at it outside, and while there is a sheen to this, you may or may not be able to see. When I'm outside, there's teeny, 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 teeny sparkling bits in this. I don't know how much it'll show on the face because, of course, this is compacted into one area, so it's more obvious. On the face, you might not be able to see it at all. They're very, very small. I had thought maybe the reflective quality is about the mica, but definitely some teeny bits of sparkle. I'm getting a little drag. So I'm just going to pat it. What's going on here? I have dents in my forehead. I don't know that this takes down. I feel, you know what? The foundation feels a little wet still. When I think about it, I usually let my foundation set for quite a bit and do other things before I put on powder. So I'm going to stop powdering and wipe this off. And we're going to do some blushy blush. This is Charlotte Tilbury Lip and Cheek Color of Dreams. It was a limited edition and no longer available, but it's a really pretty color. And so I'm going to go ahead and use it. All right. It seems to be okay. I'm questioning a little bit. I am questioning just a little bit on this side. So tomorrow we'll do a full face of this one so we can really see what's going on. But finish-wise, I think they look identical. And the color seems to have melded in with the skin. Isn't that weird? I don't really see a huge difference in the color from side to side, do you? Okay. Let's do a little concealer. Oh, it's really going to be hot today, you guys. I feel like I'm breaking into a sweat a little bit. Luckily, I'm pretty much done with my cream products. Works well together. I think, you know, if this was closed and you didn't see the redness on my chest, I think that it is a little bit lighter. This is a little bit lighter than this one, for sure. And you know what? I don't think I want to powder because I feel like I'm about to start sweating a little bit. So I do want to just go in with a beauty blender. This is dry. And just kind of take care of that pre-sweat situation. There's a little bit of a problem here, but I don't think it's the foundation. I think it's because I'm starting to get a little warm and the concealer isn't mixing very well. It's kind of moving together and repelling each other. But I don't think it's the product. I have a feeling the sweat's kind of mixed in a little bit because this is where I start to sweat when I get hot. So I'm going to wait a few minutes. I think I'm going to change into a wife beater and put my hair up, which should cool me down a little bit, and come back and try the powder. Alright, I am back and I feel like I just did a white balance with the bounce board and I feel that there's no balance. Okay, I feel like the balance is a little bit off here, but let's go in with the powder. My lips feel pretty good, you guys. I did wear this yesterday, and I feel its presence, but it's not super uncomfortable. And this doesn't pick up a lot. It's not like you're going to see it necessarily on your brush in a big way, but there it is. So I still have some radiance, and I imagine if you're using something matte, it's going to give you some radiance. I like to take down the shine on the cheek. Let's just get the mirror. Yeah, kind of erases the pores in the prettiest way. But just like the Kosas, I think this is a baked formula, and I'm not a genius at using baked formulas. I still think about the Kosas. I still think, I wonder, maybe I should get it again at the sale because it did get wet because my nose was running, and that could be why. It just kind of got messed up. And a little bit under the eyes. I think the powder is very pretty. It's funny. I think I filled out my cart like at night, and then the next morning I hit buy, and when I opened my package, I'm like, oh, I got the powder? Hey. Or maybe when I checked out, I saw the powder was in there. I don't remember putting it in my cart, but I thought, okay, you know, I can just return it. But you know what? I kind of like it. I kind of like it. So tomorrow we will put this on again, and we'll do this all over the face. And I feel like everything's getting darker and darker behind me. Like there's some kind of problem with my balance as we speak. I'll be back tomorrow. You guys, I think I might have better color now. It's like, it's quite a bit later. I think it's a half an hour later, and I was shooting another video, but now I feel like my light looks better. So this is, oh, I put the foundations away. This is the Air Nude, and this is the new one, the Forever. So the Air Nude's a little bit darker. This one's a little bit lighter, but I don't mind it at all. And yeah, I just wanted to come back because I think the color's a little better right now, but it depends. I just saw it get a little bit different. Okay, back tomorrow for full face of that one foundation. Hey guys, today is day 3. I'm not going to show you day 2 because I didn't like it. It was very cloudy and everything looked a little blue, greeny, and I was wearing green, making it even worse. But the end result was nice, and I will speak about what happened in my next clip. So you'll hear about that. You'll hear about the first day, the whole bit. But it occurred to me there are a couple of things that I missed over. I think because I was comparing this to this, I just missed over some basics that you should know about. My skin type. I am mature. I'm 58 and my skin is not quite dry, but it's not producing the same amount of ceramides and oils, collagen, elastin, hyaluronic acid, all the good things that keep your skin youthful and plump. It's not producing as much anymore. And I am very sensitive to things that are drying. So I'm not quite there yet, but I'm pretty close. Also, I've been using Retin-A for the last several months, and I have been using it about twice a week, and I'm trying to use it 3 or 4 times a week, maybe more like 3, and I am retinizing a little bit. So there's a little flakiness, a little dryness. That's what's going on with me. I have put on my skincare. I have my skincare posted. Go into my playlist under skincare and anti-aging. You'll see my day program, my night program. I use several essences, and that gives me a shine. And then I put a lightweight moisturizer, gives me a shine. And I put a heavier moisturizer, gives me a shine. And then I put my sunscreen, it gives me a shine. This is completely set. I did this 45 minutes ago. It's not loosey-goosey, slippy, or anything. It's set as shiny. I also didn't talk about what Dior is saying about this product, so let's get into it. Dior Forever has reinvented the natural complexion with Natural Nude Foundation, 24-hour perfection with a nude skin sensation. Not sure what that means. Thanks to a formula enriched with 96% natural origin ingredients and concentrated floral skincare. There are a couple of things that come from flowers here, something from hibiscus, something from rose. It is after the halfway point, and at the halfway point is fragrance. So these things that may or may not be beneficial to the skin are after something that's definitely not beneficial to the skin. Fresh and lightweight, the Dior Forever Natural Nude Foundation's texture offers a natural and luminous finish with a no mask-like effect. I do feel that it doesn't look like a mask. It's true. I've seen better though, like this one. The skin is hydrated and radiant as if plumped. So there we have it. Now on the day-to-day between these, this wore prettier because it just is nothing. Like I said, this is volatile oil. The oil evaporates and just leaves the pigment. Where this is, as you remember, very cushy. There's something going on here. And I've tried things that are cushy, like the Bite. This is more cushy. And as you put it on, it kind of liquefies. That is not the case with this. So I did see some creasing right here. Also, the colors are supposed to be the same, but they are not, as we saw. But this does need a few minutes, 10 minutes or so, to reach its actual color. It does oxidize a little bit. So I wanted to do some color swatches for you. And we won't wait for it to dry down, but I just want to give you an idea. My Reboot, which has been my favorite all last year, and something new, the Givenchy, which you have probably seen by now. I'm posting that first. So there we have it. The Givenchy, the Reboot, the Dior Air Nude, and the Dior Natural Nude. I promised you I would do half and half brush and blender. I think I promised that. I may have edited it out. I'm going to do that now. So, I'm doing it in the palm of my hand instead. As you can see, it doesn't move. It's not liquidy, and when I go like this, it's like it gets peaks. Lucy, what are you doing, baby girl? So there we have it. It is decent light medium coverage, and the color will be okay after it oxidizes a little bit. And let's go get my brush. And when I do brushes, I just kind of like to wiggle back and forth and work it in a little bit. I can see the colors already settling a little bit. And start at the center of the face and work out. And I'm kind of doing a lighter touch actually with the brush than the Beauty Blender. Matches my ear really well, but when I was wearing it with the Air Nude, I just felt like the color was too light. I think if you're going to use a brush with this, you're going to get a lighter coverage. And if you want a better coverage, then I really kind of caked it on with the Beauty Blender, then probably 2 coats, but not significant difference. Now, the application with this is something odd. It's almost like, it feels like it's set already. It didn't feel dry to me. Well, it did feel dry, but that was not because of the foundation. That was because I used the Powder Mineral sunscreen. And that can be drying. But the foundation itself has not felt drying the days I've worn it since then. And I did not wear that sunscreen since then. There's a slightly tacky feeling to this. It doesn't feel like it is set quite yet. And I think I, for some reason, prefer not applying this with fingers, which is very strange for me. I prefer almost everything with fingers. So that's kind of interesting. While I'm waiting for this to set up, let's go ahead and do a concoction under the eyes. You don't need to see this. This video is going to be long enough. I'll be back. And now I think we're just going to go in with bronzer because it still feels the teeniest bit wet, but I'm doing the cream bronzer again. This is the Laguna. I think it's only at Nordstrom's, but it might also be at Saks. Do a Google search, because I thought that the eyeshadow palette was only at Nordstrom's when I did a search to find out what it was called. It was also at Saks. And same thing, going in with this brush, natural brush, and just kind of working it in and then taking it off. Lightest hand ever. And just the teeniest bit on the cheekbone. And there it is, you guys. Cream bronzer, not a problem, applied with a brush. The foundation, I kind of packed it on here, so that's almost 2 pumps on this side, and I guess at the end of the day, because I did another pump, maybe a pump and a half here, I've lost count with the brush. I think at the end of the day, kind of the same. Coverage is very decent, the color is very decent. What kind of I don't like is what it looks like hours later. So I'm going to finish my makeup and come back and show you the final look and come to my final conclusions. Yeah, I think so. Okay, you guys, it is a little while later, probably 45 minutes later. I did another video with this look. Take a look if you like it. I did this Givenchy blush and the Heaven Aquan new palette and a Coquendo lip, and I'm in love. And as you can see, what I look like on camera changes a lot by what the light is on, like doing outside. It looks so much better right now. It's a sweet spot. But as we're coming closer to summer, it's going to be hard to shoot in the sweet spot, so I'm trying to make adjustments and see if I can make things look better. But looking right now, I think this looks so, so pretty. What do I think of this foundation? I don't know. I know that's not much help. It's just that this I recently discovered and I love. And I have been wearing this for 3 days, and then I did the Trini for 2 days, and I just feel like I like this one better. And maybe I need to try this one before I come to a final decision about this one. But you don't necessarily have that going on. For me, this Dior powder, I like it, but I don't like it on this foundation. Today, I use the By Terry, and I like it much, much better. So I just use the white one, the one without any color at all. And I do find powders with color can be very, very difficult. If the color is not right, it can call attention to itself. You know, the human eye just kind of scans. It's like, what's going on over here? They notice something's off, be it color or texture. And this is both because it's a powder. So I'm not sure I love this powder with this foundation. I don't think they're the correct shade for each other, even though they are the correct shade. This is also too. I'm going to keep on trying this powder. It's like I want to like it. Do you know what I mean? But today's the first time I did the by Terry powder, and I like this foundation a lot better. Do I like it better than the Air Nude? No. Do I think it's comparable to the Air Nude? No. It's a totally different texture. While the finish is similar and the coverage is similar, the wear is not. The first day I did have a little bit of creasing going on, where the Air Nude doesn't look like anything. And this has that kind of creamy nature, so of course it looks like something. It doesn't look cakey, don't get me wrong. If I had not have tried this, or the Trini, actually the Trini is such a good product, it's just they don't have enough colors, and that color was pretty orangey, peachy on me. I made it work, and the light at that time of day, there was a lot of yellow coming into the room anyway, so it looked seamless, but it really wasn't. But those really just look like your skin. This one does right now, but it won't in several hours, especially when it's hot. And the Dior Air Nude, I loved wearing it in the summer because it didn't make me feel hot or uncomfortable. Don't get me wrong, I don't feel the weight of this on my skin, even though it has a creamy nature to it. And as you can see, the color kind of toned down a little bit, and it looks much better for me. I'm just not sure. There's just that one little thing where I saw it kind of doing one of these things. I just don't know what to say, you guys, because I myself don't know if I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep on playing with it. It's definitely a lighter shade, but I think the skin looks pretty darn good, right? So I'm just presenting the facts to you. You saw me put it on, you've heard my experience with it, and you can decide for yourself. Is it something you want to try or not? As far as the powder, I think I told you I don't think it's good with this. I want to try it with other things because I do want it to work. I always want everything to work, and I think there's the potential for this to work. So I am going to try a little bit more. Maybe I'll try it with the Givenchy and see how that goes. And then the lip color, which is in the other room, because someone asked me what lip color I was wearing in a different video, and I was wearing this, so I brought it into the living room. I really like that color. I don't have mid-tone pink quite like that. It is spring. I know a lot of people don't like pink, but, you know, sometimes pink works. Sometimes pink is appropriate, and we just need to find the right pink for us. Sometimes that journey is long. But, yeah, I'm going to keep that. I think that's a solid, you know, no bells and whistles, nothing too crazy. And if you use a liner, you can change the undertone just a little bit, kind of lipstick to have for spring. And, yeah. That is it, my friends. I know it's going to be a long one. I'm so sorry. I hope that you find all this information handy, help you make a decision if this is something you want to try. And yeah, I hope you come back again. Until we meet again, be safe and smart, and I'm wishing you good health.